So David Hogg, a younger
Mm-hmm.
guy, he
Mm-hmm.
got involved, I think, in politics after the Parkland shooting was, because I think he was a survivor of that. He is
Mm-hmm.
now the vice chair of the DNC. He came out recently and said that he is going to spend $20 million primarying Democrats that are
Wow.
in safe seats. So
Mm.
these really deep blue districts with Democrats that they feel are not meeting the moment. He wants to
Mm-hmm.
go in, spend $20 million to have these sitting Democrats be primaried and say, like, hey, we need a generational change. We need to get you out of there. You're not really fighting enough. He's targeting Democrats who he thinks are kind of just sitting back and just not really resisting the
Yeah.
Trump regime the way that it needs to be done. Now, the DNC president has come out and said that basically, if you go through with this, that you have to actually leave the DNC. You're not allowed to have a leadership position if you go through with this. Talking about rules of neutrality and things of that nature, which I think
Oh.
is a bunch of
Oh,
garbage because
okay.
the DNC has
Okay.
constantly been picking people in the past about who they want to
Yeah.
favor and who they don't want to favor. And so I think more importantly here, rather
Wow.
than the DNC's reaction to him, because that's
Mm-hmm.
inevitable, they want to pressure this guy not to do this because Democrats are worried about losing their seats. But
Mm-hmm.
I really believe in the merits of this, Natalie. I think
Yes.
that going in there and pressuring Democrats to essentially face these tough primary challenges, hopefully ousting quite a few of them, is what we need for the party. How do you feel, though?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And Palatos also said, light a fire under their rear ends, which really sums up my position on this because, look,
Yeah.
this is the time for bold action. This is the time for innovative thinking and big thinking and thinking beyond this moment. And
Yeah.
the status quo ain't going to get us there. And I think it's interesting, too, that on the flip side of that, you have people like Pete Buttigieg, and you had told me this before we started. He went on a recent right-leaning talk show, right?
Yes.
What was it called?
Flagrant.
Flagrant. Thank you.
Yeah.
And people, I guess, were talking about the merit or him having not. He should not have gone on that in the debate back and
Right.
forth. And I think that's really interesting too, because I think these are the two places the Democrats keep falling into. It's either we got to go more left, which is really just moderate left, or we got to kiss the ring and appease the Republicans, or maybe we're not. Maybe we're going on as a foil and we're going to tell them what's really happening and give it to them straight. And so it's like there's these two camps. And when we talk about how the right imploded not too long ago and MAGA resulted of that, what's going to happen when the left implodes? Because I think it is happening, and we've got a schism going on here. Which way is this really going to fall? Because in my opinion, I think we should be moving much further to the Bernie AOC progressive wing of the party, which is where 72% of Democrats think the party should be moving. But you have the minority in charge of this party still that feels as though we need to go back to the middle. What are your thoughts as we wrap up?
So really quickly, I think that there are too many Democrats that feel that they are untouchable. I think that it's absolutely important to be primarying them. There are so many of them who don't really want to meet this moment. I mean, think about how many Democrats you actually see on a consistent basis speaking up against what's happening in the Trump regime right now. It's probably, I mean, let's
like the
just
same
do
10.
a quick count right now. There are 250 of them between the House and the Senate. You probably see the same 10 names over and over again. Right? Everyone else apparently can't even bother to make a tweet, let alone do anything else, right? So, yes, I would love to see more of them cycled out of here. I said many times over that I think the Democratic Party needs to be stripped down and just
term
completely replaced. I mean, I would love to see us maybe retain 20 of these people and then just shuffle the rest of the party out and get new people in. Now, on the other hand here, with Pete Buttigieg, I was actually happy to see him go on this show.
Okay.
Because the Flagrant show is a show that is really right-wing coded, but I think it's also a place where people who find themselves to be like apolitical go to get their news. And so I think this is a highly just like uneducated population. Politically uneducated in the sense that they don't really go to seek the news that much. And so this group of guys, they usually bring in a bunch of right-wing people to then disseminate a bunch of disinformation. So I think Pete Buttigieg has made almost like a career recently off of going into places like Fox News and challenging their narratives, unlike someone like Gavin Newsom, who invited Charlie Kirk onto his podcast just to basically tell him how great that he was.
I totally forgot that.
Yes.
I think I blocked that out. Yes.
Yeah. So long story short, Pete Buttigieg going on there and challenging right-wing talking points and establishing, what I found to be were important narratives to be sharing with that audience, a really big audience, mind you.
Yeah.
The Flagrant podcast has. I thought it was good. I think more people should do it. I think as long as you're going in there and you're defending the right principles and you're attacking the rights where it needs to be attacked, then I think that more people should be doing these things.
Well,
yes.
I couldn't agree more. And that's why I was trying to make a differentiation between kissing the ring and standing up and speaking truth to power in spaces that you're not welcome. Because I think the danger that the Democrats don't want to fall into, which I do think the Republicans have, is creating such a concentrated silo that they're literally not engaging with the reality around them, which is very problematic for a whole host of reasons that we don't have time to get into today.
Right.
But I think infiltrating spaces is very important, and also reminding people that, these are people that exist and have perspectives and lives, and they're humans. And I think it does humanize you when you're in a space and someone from the other side is forced to look you in the eye and have a conversation, as opposed to behind a screen and talking a bunch of garbage about this person that is really, in their minds, not a real person. So I do think for those reasons, it's important. But to your point, as long as that's the goal and it's not to, talk to anybody as if they're special, like Gavin Newsom was doing.
Gavin Newsom is a problem.
He is such a problem. We could do a whole show just on him. And I hope we get to do that very soon. And to everybody that was able to tune in today, thank you so much for kind of doing a speedy show with us. I have a bit of a time crunch, so I have to jump off. But Desmond, I always so appreciate our chats. And once again, we managed to get through a lot in 20 minutes. So good for us.
Yeah. We'll do a longer one next time. So
absolutely.
So we can actually kind of I had a lot more on these topics I would love to get out there, but we will do more next time. For those who are not following Natalie already, I think it's the top left portion of your screen, top right portion of your screen, go ahead and click the follow button. You want to be following Natalie on here on Substack, as well as on Instagram. Really great journalist, great content. Make sure that you are following Natalie Bencivenga. And we'll be doing these, it looks like every Friday.
We're trying.
That could change, but as of right now, we're going to be doing these every Friday. I also have an interview coming up with a Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Iowa on Monday, Nathan Sage. So if you happen to be around on Monday afternoon, please go ahead and check that out. It should be at 3 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock where I'm at in the mountains. So Natalie, do you have anything coming up?
Yeah, I have a lot of interesting things coming up, but I wanted to add that, my mom's from Iowa. So next time we do an Iowa connection, I got to be a part of it because, man, I love that state. It's full of wonderful people, and they vote very interesting. It's a politically interesting state. So I'll be very curious to see how that goes for sure.
All right, everyone. So thank you so much for checking us out this time, and we will see you next Friday.
Bye, guys.